Starting now is the panel for StarCraft II, Arcade, Mods, and Blizzard DOTA. Please give a big, warm round of BlizzCon welcome for the members of the StarCraft II team.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Arcade, Mods, and Blizzard DOTA panel. I'm Alex Sun. I'm a designer for StarCraft II. Now, we got a lot to cover today, so we'll be going through it pretty quickly, but we have plenty of time for Q&A afterwards. A lot of the stuff we're going to show you guys isn't necessarily final, so don't be surprised if it changes in release. All right, with that said, let's get started. First, we're going to show you guys the arcade and how to find arcade games. Next, we're going to show you the tools to create arcade games. And finally, we're going to show you Blizzard DOTA, an arcade game that we've been working on. And the part that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the arcade. So the arcade is a place where you can find games created by the community. In Warcraft 3, we had a lot of examples of great arcade games like Dota All-Stars and Tower Defense. And we really wanted to do our best to support these games. Patch 1.3 was really our first little step in doing so. And now with Heart of the Swarm, we're ready to take the next big step and finally release the arcade. Now, when we do release the arcade, game creators won't be able to sell their content, but this is something we plan to do in the future, and we just hope that if game creators can sell their content, you guys are going to have more fun games to play. And for those that were here last year, the arcade is just the new name for the marketplace. Since a lot of the games are still going to be free, we just felt like arcade fit a little bit better. It sounds more fun, too. So when we're designing the arcade, we had 3 goals in mind. First, we wanted to make sure it was easy to play the quality games. And when I say quality games, I don't mean just the most popular ones. I'm also talking about those hidden gems, the ones that are really fun to play, but just haven't had the exposure necessary to make it to the most popular list. Next, we want to make sure you guys can play the games you want to play. Now, playing the most popular games all the time can get a little stale, and you just need a little break. And right now, it's not really easy to do that. The best way is really to get some friends together or go to a chat channel and bug people and try to get them to enjoy your game. There's a lot of improvements we can make here. Next, we wanted to build a foundation so that in the future, we could sell games if we wanted to. So before we preview the arcade, let's take a look at what we have now. So if you start up Wings of Liberty, this is what you see. Right off the bat, it's not really intuitive where you're supposed to go if you want to find these custom games. If you're lucky, you hit multiplayer, and you come to this screen. And on the bottom right, we have custom games at the bottom. And you hit join a game, and you see this. All right, so let's take a look at what we'll have in Heart of the Swarm. So if we look at the top left here, you'll notice that we merged the single player and multiplayer buttons into a single button, StarCraft, and we added an arcade button next to it. This arcade button's a lot easier to find, and you got quick one-click access to it too. All right, so let's click on the arcade and see what we got. Here we go. Much nicer. So let's break this out into each section. Up on the top, we have our featured games, the games that are selected by Blizzard. Over on the right, we have our most popular games, the games that are played the most. And we also added 3 new lists. This is where you're going to find those hidden gems. So first, we have What's Hot. These games, we know that they're good because people are playing them and they're rising in popularity, but they just aren't popular yet. As you probably already noticed, we're also adding a 5-star rating system. You'll be able to rate any game as long as you've played it at least once. And we'll be using these ratings to surface up good games to you guys. For example, Up and Coming. These games, we know that they're good because they have high ratings, but they haven't been played a lot. Next is New and Noteworthy. These games are new, they've been published recently, but those people who have played them, they gave them high ratings, so we're going to surface those up too. All right, so we took a look at how to find games. Now let's take a look at how to get into a game. So here we are back at the arcade, and we're going to click on Blizzard DOTA over on the right. And you see we have a lot of nice information about Blizzard DOTA. And if we click the Join Game button at the bottom, you'll see that we're using the matchmaker to find you guys games. Now, if you're a diamond level Blizzard DOTA player, you're going to get matched against diamond level Blizzard DOTA players. Hopefully, it'll be a lot more fun playing against people of your skill level. And while you're waiting in the matchmaker, you can read how to play the game, read the patch notes to see what's changed, and also read reviews or write your own. Now, as I mentioned before, one of our goals was to make sure you can play the games you want to play. And to do that, we're going to be introducing the queuing system. And how this works is, the longer you've been waiting in the queue, the higher chance that your game is going to get filled. And we're going to be filling your games via Fun or Not. Now, we've seen Fun or Not being used thousands of times a day. So ultimately, what this means is, if you wait long enough, your game will get played, and all you had to do was just hit the Join Game button. We're going to do the hard work for you. And speaking of hard work and doing the hard work for you guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to the engineers who are doing the hard work. We have like Alan DeBerry, Ryan Mills, Bill Dewey, Chris Chen, and Brian Cleveland. These are the guys who are making the arcade happen, and they also contributed a lot to the design as well that you see today. Last, all these updates that you guys have seen today, we're going to make them available to everyone. So if you upgraded to Heart of the Swarm, or you stuck with the Wings of Liberty, or if you just downloaded Starter Edition, you're going to have access to the arcade. We just want to make sure that you guys have as many people as possible to play with.